want to talk to you about practicing because it's just one of the facts of life for all of us as musicians. Before I do that, I want to sort of take a poll. So show me trumpet players, raise your hand. French horn, trombone, euphonium, tuba, other? No other? Okay, and any high school students here? And college? And like local pro type persons? And other? Adult amateurs? Great. Wonderful. Male? Not sure. Female? Other? No other? Okay. So, I don't know about you. I get, sometimes practicing is fun and effortless and I like to do it and time just seems to go by. And then other times, there's almost nothing I wouldn't rather be doing instead of practicing. Or the other way around. So, anybody frustrated about practicing sometimes? Yeah? Okay. What are the parts about practicing that are frustrating? Anybody? Everything about it. Good. Who feels like that's Hey, can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Right. What? Any specific things? Sure.
Well, no, when the weather's nice.
If it's nice outside, sure. There's things you'd rather be doing than practicing. Absolutely. What else?
At times it seems a bit tedious, like wood shedding.
Tedious. Like, why am I doing this? This is boring. So sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it doesn't rise to the level of being important enough to be preferential to playing Halo or being outside in the sun or doing something like that. My son just got Halo for Christmas, so all I see is Halo in my house right now. Well, it's no different for me. I can't speak for the other guys, but I know practicing is a daily. It's sort of every day. I'm interested to find out, was this going to be a good day or a bad day? And I know I found there's a couple of strategies I want to share with you. I know that when I'm frustrated or bored, or if I'd rather do something else, usually I'm not 100% clear on what it is, why should I be practicing other than I ought to. A lot of times I know in my head, practicing is just one of those things like, it's this big nebulous, I should always be doing more of it. I'm never doing enough of it. I'm probably not doing it right, whatever it is. So therefore, I'm going to go outside or I'm going to play Halo or I'm going to whatever it is. And it's when I have a very clear idea of what it is that I want to get out of my practice that all of a sudden I can get in and get out as efficiently as possible. I don't like to practice. I do like to get things done. And so if I think about, it's maybe just tricking myself in my head and thinking of, well, if I don't call it practice, and that's not what I mean. What I mean is that if I go in with a specific set of things that I want to accomplish, then two things happen. It goes by much more quickly, and I have a sense of accomplishment when it's done. I felt like I actually did a thing. Sometimes if you go to paint a room, you can tell where you've painted and where you haven't. Sometimes when we're practicing, it's easy to get lost in that and not sure whether I did or whether I didn't get anything done. So there's two big sort of concepts I want to throw at you. One is one I use with young students all the time, and it sort of helps them think about what their job is at any given time when they're practicing. And I compare it to how athletes, like professional athletes or just elite athletes, train to do whatever it is that they do. So we'll take football as an example because Andrew's a big football fan and the Patriots are playing tonight. So as an example, pro football players spend the off-season training. They're in the gym, they're running the track, they're working with trainers, they're doing that sort of thing to have their bodies ready to do whatever it is that they're going to have to do in a game. So that's part of it, is physical training. Part of it is mental training as well, studying films and kind of figuring out plays and all that sort of thing. The middle part is practice, what we would call they're in practice. So they're running drills, they're running plays, they're learning plays, they're, again, watching films. They're doing lots of those things, but they're practice-oriented. In other words, trying to simulate the things that they're going to do in the actual game. And then that's the third part, is the game part. That's the actual play. You play a game, you play an instrument. And so with younger students, I have them think of it the same way. Some of your practice ought to be devoted to, or some of your play ought to be devoted to just getting better at the physical aspects of what it is that you do. So for those, for brass players, that means playing, and you probably heard little versions of it going on if you were here while we were warming up. Tone production, just playing with a nice sound, long tones, doing some breathing exercises, playing some lip slurs, simple articulation things, simple finger exercises or slide exercises, range studies, both high and low, volume studies, how softly can I play with control, how loudly can I play. So all of the tools that you will need In order to do these other two parts, that's the part, so you're in phase one of it. Phase two is, well, what's the stuff that I stink on ice doing? What is the stuff I would not want my grandmother to hear me play? It's a couple of bars in every piece, you know what I mean? It's probably, you've got your band music and your ensemble music and your solos, and that's your etudes, whatever you have to do for your lessons. And there's usually somewhere, depending on how hard it is and what you're working on, it's going to be, it usually ends up about 20% of each piece or less is the stuff that's horrible. And that's the stuff that we don't like to play because we sound like dirt on it. And so we avoid it and we put it away, and it's just, it never gets any better. So that's where this middle section is, and that is really vital. That part we're going to go back and talk about a little bit more. But that stuff is the stuff that's going to make you really do this. And then set aside time every day, and hopefully in every session, to just play stuff that you like to play for the sake of playing, because that will sort of recharge your batteries. It could be a Lady Gaga tune, a movie theme, I don't care what it is. Play whatever you like to play. Just because what you're doing is a creative endeavor. It's a way for you to express something that you can't get out any other way. So set aside some time to do that. A lot of times we forget that. We get this work done, we get this work done, and then it's like, forget it. Spend some time playing. Play along tracks, make up tunes, whatever it is. No one needs to judge it. It's your thing, so do that.